I mean, what a way to start this grand final, Andy. One of the fastest game types we have, constant action, constant rotations, and one where both teams are going to feel extremely at home.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely non-style. I could not have picked a better game type, like you said, to start off this grand finals between C9 and Optic Gaming. This time it's a little bit different, a little bit flipped from last week. It's Optic Gaming coming in from the winner's bracket, and it will be Cloud9 that needs to win 2 back-to-back best-of-5s in order to close out this series here, and see what Optic Gaming can do.
I mean, what an opportunity is for Optic Gaming to add another online championship to their belt, just to get that confidence back after the little break that they've had. They've already beaten C9. To beat them in a final would be a completely different thing indeed. They've got 2 best-of-5s to get it done. Hopefully, they only need 1 if you're an Optic fan, but we're going to start off with the POV of Lucid. Why wouldn't we, Andy? The man was destroying in the last series that we saw against C9.
And let me tell you, if you're an Optic fan, you is, by the way, going to win this one against StelluR. Does not give up on the tires battle. Fantastic work from Lucid. If you're an Optic fan, you have loved what you have seen from Lucid, with the exception of that last rocket. Second one a little bit better, but my God, like we talked about, we got to hear from him during the post-game interview from that last series. He's so calm, he's so cool. That's when he's his most dangerous, just absolutely putting on a show. And like I said, winning battles, he shouldn't. The man went 32-14 in the last game that we saw him against Cloud9.
He really did. It was quite the episode of Lucid playing Halo Infinite. It really was one of the specials for sure to go back and watch. But for now, at the start of this game, you can see that Cloud9 have momentary control. It's a really important 1v1 here around the back of tower, because if Pznguin wins it, then there is going to be a little bit of delay on that A being converted. It looks like Optic are trying to play the end of the map at the moment. A and C will go into their hands. However, you can see the C9 already pressuring A here. It looks like C9 might be able to take this one over.
Just like you said, you should flip, but great team shots coming in from Optic. And to be honest, if that's a sign of things to come, this could be a pretty quick series for Optic Gaming. They will maintain AC off of that stop, and look at that play just from Lucid to continue challenging from the Stalker Rifle into that left corner of A, and he had the help. And already those little battles, those are going to be the things that start to just eat away at the strength and the resilience of Cloud9.
And double kills from Formor certainly going to be testing them as well. StelluR's trying to survive at the moment, but you can see that it looks like Optic know where his location is, so StelluR just trying his best to stay alive. He's actually going to catch TriPPPeY off guard here. Maybe a little bit of a miscom coming in from Optic, maybe just good positioning coming in from StelluR, but you can see he's just waiting to step inside of that C stronghold before he gets that information to his teammates. At the moment, unfortunately for StelluR, his teammates are kind of getting slayed across the map, but winning important 1vs like that can be the difference maker here for C9.
Oh my God, look, he's going to do it again to ABG, maybe with a thrust. Nah, I thought he was maybe going to thrust to the right in the end, though. Great win in back Tram, using that thrust to close the melee distance before the trade came in on Formal. 32 now to 19 in favor of Cloud9.
2 dead here for C9 as well. It should be A being converted here by Optic, and TriPPPeY just traversing his way over to the pink street means that anyone who tries to push out of that tram towards where he is going to fall into that death screen. There's 1 rocket for StelluR to hold and take to the grave with him. And now the Bulldog is going to be spawning at just the right time for him as well. C9 trapped at B at the moment. Optic playing the ends, and TriPPPeY set up to pounce on anyone inside of these tires.
Yeah, TriPPPeY just going to wait here in the rocket pocket, doing the laundry. Finds a few players around A courtyard. Some very good shots against StelluR is going to allow him to engage and not even get his shields fully stripped. Somehow slides through tires for free while A's being converted. Not the easiest to do. My God, very good shots from Eco, though. You thought that was going to be a TriPPPeY win. Eco says no, but the kill will be traded out.
So tied up essentially in this game at the moment, 36-35. It's exactly tied up now as C9 do turn over C momentarily, but a lot of resources were expended in getting that conversion. So TriPPPeY just being a pain here. The longer he stays alive, the better this is for Optic, because they have BC control. The help can now come in, and we might be on the verge of seeing our first triple cap of the game here.
Help comes in from Lucid as well, but they're trapped and cornered here in back A, doing whatever they can to bait and switch, and TriPPPeY just going to try to maybe get this conversion because they get the kills they needed. Eco's last player alive for C9.
Eco gets the nades in, but TriPPPeY's going to get the shots in. My word, TriPPPeY. Those kind of shots are grand final shots. Takes down Eco, and that is the triple cap finally here for Optic Gaming. They've been patient on it. They've been waiting for it. Rocket's going to be popping as well. StelluR gets 2, but TriPPPeY, you just feel like he's on a tear right now.
Oh gosh, if he kept those rockets out, it might have been a different scenario. 3 dead. Lucid was last player alive for a second in a 1v1 with Eco, but let's remind everyone, this was tied 36-36. It's now 104-37.
That's how quickly this game can change. One triple cap could completely change things. And now you're also seeing, oh my word, APG snapping onto heads as he picks up 2. They're going to get the reset onto A. APG put a list in front of him of things to do. He'll get it done quicker than anyone else you know.
They don't call him AP Jesus for nothing. Amazing work there from him. He's going to even stay alive in the Bulldog battle. Wanted another weapon to play with. Eventually, he'll fall. Lucid with a hero's journey up the C stairs. Eventually, he will go down as well. But guess what? It's perfect trades because 4 dead for C9 yet again. Continued scoring. And what was tied at 36 is now a 140-point lead for the side of Optic Gaming.
You look at the Cloud9 stats right now. Nobody can get going. Ever since that game was tied up, no one has really gone on any kind of a spree. If you look at the Optic side of the stats, it's just Optic, Optic, Optic. 12 and 7 for Lucid. Optic looking very, very strong at the moment, but finally it looks like C9 have managed to win that team fight. They have 3 dead from Optic. They get B back in their control, but that triple cap, the damage that's done from there is going to take a lot of repairing here from Cloud9.
Let's see if Cloud9 has what it takes right here. You know, of course, if this was a LAN event, it'd be something a little bit different, but do they have, I think like Gaskin said, the gas in the tank to bring this one back? Already down by still 130 in this game number 1.
Formal versus StelluR. Oh, he's just waiting for the little weapon switch there, and it almost cost him his life. Formal had the help coming in from Lucid though, and APG should be able to clean up these kills at the front of C, so they will be able to not only hold C here, but the kills that go alongside it as the rockets are popping means they'll be able to rotate to B. They should be able to get this in their control. They'll have the bodies here to flip it. Now they can turn their attention back to rockets. Great timing here from Optic, prioritizing everything they needed to at the right time.
Really great timing. Look how long APG watches caution. He watches and nades it just long enough before he had to immediately get his head on a swivel, pivot back towards rockets. Now he flies through neons with the team. They will continue scoring, and they're less than 50 points away from taking game number 1.
C9 dip their toes into B. APG dips his toes into some kills. 2 fall. Make that 3.
Whoa.
No! Wow, Eco somehow managed to turn that one around. A little bit of help actually coming in from a C9 teammate as they now jump into B, but you can see how desperate C9 are having to be just to convert any of these strongholds at the moment. Another body jumps in. Formal stays alive for now. Has that red gun, but Pznguin has the thrust.
Great job there from Formal and TriPPPeY to work on that StelluR kill. In the end, though, we'll still be in control of Cloud9, and we'll be TriPPPeY now in red room, going to pick up the thrust as well to rally back, and they're going to try to continue to put points on the board, but my God, do they have a mountain to climb.
They certainly do. Now, this is where patience is going to be important here for Optic. And what I mean by that is they've seen what the effects of a triple cap can be. They were the ones who were dishing it out. They were the ones who got that 100-point run pretty much without response. Cloud9 can do exactly the same to them. That's why you're seeing them slow things down. Formal with that first pick, vital. As Lucid will also find one. TriPPPeY finds another, and it looks like C9 just fell into the Optic trap.
4 dead, bounds the first spawner, and look at the timing, Mark. You put it perfect. The patience out of Optic. Lucid sat back, and Tram actually went to the ATM, got his ticket sprinted. He's got the entire return journey planned, and they fly back out, and they get control, and they get 4 dead. That is surgical work from Optic Gaming.
And now they just have to hold. They have to hold the 2. They don't have to do anything crazy. It looks like the push is coming in from Cloud9 onto B, but there's a Bulldog to meet one player. There's also Formal to meet another. And StelluR, you've got to be careful, my friend, because with the way that Formal is shooting right now, you're not going to have many opportunities to hit shots. He's going to hit them himself. Triple cap once again here. Eco desperately trying to do what he can, but this might be game over before C9 can even reach a stronghold. A dominating 250 to 110 performance from Optic in game 1. They look so strong right now.
Lucid 19 and 13 again, leading the game, not just the team, but also the game in those categories. Amazing stuff from him. And I tell you what, when Lucid is starting to go full Super Saiyan at these levels, Dan talked about how much he's been playing, how much he's been streaming. This Optic Gaming roster looks scarier and scarier, and that's not even to mention all the rest of the talent across APG, Formal, and TriPPPeY. Big stuff from the entire squad.
Yeah, they just had complete control of the map, it felt like, at all times, whether it was when the power weapons were coming up. They were getting the kills at just the right time. The distraction on B as that rocket was coming up was instrumental to that final run. And you're looking across the stats here, there's nothing to shake your head at if you're an Optic fan. Every single player doing the job. And Formal with 13 assists to his name as well, shooting anything that moved in front of him.
Got to apologize as well, because I was talking about Lucid, but look at APG. He's even higher, positive 17 and 10 as well. So my apologies, popping off big there is both APG and Lucid as well. We'll take a look at the damage. And with that win, Mark, we're getting word from production here that Optic have now won the first map of their last 4 series against C9 now.
I mean, one thing you should be talking about with Lucid is that damage, though. 5.2k damage. Formal chasing him, but just behind in second place. 5.1k damage for him.
Wow.
Both those players putting down so many shots, and Lucid just taking not a lot of damage as well. So taking some great routes around the map in order to get those kills on the board. But, I mean, it was tied up at 35. It was back and forth all the time, Andy, but the first triple cap was the game changer.
It absolutely was, and really Optic never looked back. That was a great sequence that you saw early on coming in from StelluR, but not enough from the entire C9 squad, and this was where things got dangerous. Look at this win as well. This was the win for the trip cap against Eco. Like you said, fantastic shots from TriPPPeY against Eco, last player alive, and from there it just felt like an Optic highlight reel.
It really did. It was just perfect rotations, and one thing that was impressive, like I mentioned, was when Optic found themselves 3 dead, the patience just to hold the 1 cap, to wait for the C9 push, to wait for the C9 aggression, and then just pick off that first kill, which then kind of leaves the rest of C9 in a little bit of no man's land, right? They don't know whether they want to go forward, they don't know whether they want to retreat, and Optic were able to set that trap and perform it effectively. Optic, complete control at all times of the pace, but also of those strongholds in game number 1.
Also, look at Formal going 15 and 13 with 13 assists. Those are great numbers from Matthew Piper. He's going to be happy with that. The entire Green Walls are going to be happy with that. And they will lead the series 1-0. Now we set our sights. A little bit of live fire Slayer.
We do indeed. Now, one weapon to keep your eyes on here is going to be that sniper rifle. I feel like somebody has it in them in this game to do something ridiculous. Whether it's Lucid, whether it's APG. On the other side of things, maybe Bound's going to get his hands on that and be hyper aggressive, running at players and just sniping them as he slides across live fire. All of these things wait, of course, to see if they come to fruition. But a massive game here for both teams. Cloud9, they need this to elongate the series. For Optic, if they win this one, they find themselves on championship map.
Starting things off here with Lucid, and as you said, it's a huge opportunity for Optic. We talked about how important it is to close this series out in the tournament out in the first series, and this series within the first few games. First few kills will go for C9. We'll see what Lucid can do, sniper rifle in hand.
Some responsibility here as well, because you can see that the rotation now has come in for Optic to play for that overshield. Formal gets a trade, which is going to stagger C9's push. Eco trying to do some damage, and I'll tell you what, Lucid might have somewhat of a field day here. Bodies Eco. TriPPPeY will clean that one up as well, and it looks like they might have actually got control of that overshield. So Bound, even though he has the heat wave, is just getting peppered in the back. But Lucid at the moment is kind of chasing shadows. All of C9 are picking up the kills where they need to, and it's 6-3 off the rip here.
Yeah, let's see what he does here on this flank. He might try to quick jump up to C-plat. He thought about it, but instead going to get this angle on Nest Bridge. It's still a great angle. He might not have hit the jump, but he's still going to get the kills. Goes for it a second time. Will hit it the second time. Now over to Nest Bridge. Going to keep his eyes on Big Door as well as Green. They keep the game within 1.
TriPPPeY with 2 there. Now the teamwork coming in from Formal and Lucid. Just not even looking. Bound had no idea that Lucid was flanking behind him. Formal just providing that distraction. That's the teamwork I was talking about. It just seems like the baiting and switching, everything is perfect. And that has allowed Optic to get back into this one. Now tied up at 8-8, but Lucid still with this weapon in his hands has a chance to change things here.
By the way, this is the tour to Lucid. He's been at every corner of the map with this sniper rotation. Brings it all the way to scoreboard. Instead brings it all the way over to Nest Bridge and bottom dirt. Stays alive as well. That's the no-scope repulsor for the added injury. And will continue to stay alive at Green.
That was disgusting. That was absolutely vile from Lucid. That shot was just, yeah, it's difficult to take if you're on the receiving end of that. And maybe that is going to be what breaks C9's back. But for now, Eco's managed to get 2 at least. Eco's still alive, and Pznguin there to challenge. The overshield has popped, and unfortunately here for Lucid, there might just be too many players in front of him, but somehow he's alive. The teamwork, again, from Optic is there. Bounds on the flank, but Lucid puts him in the dirt. A killing spree for Lucid.
Oh my God, he's going to also repulsor up to stay alive. Now they're going to be looking for him bottom mid and key door. They do find him top mid. In the end, Eco will sniff that out. Had to get a little bit mind gamey there, maybe knowing that he would have been top middle, so Eco was wise to the play. StelluR with the overshield though, patrolling for a second. I got scared. Patrolling back tower. And now only down by 1 kill.
TriPPPeY being elusive.
Oh God, nice back.
StelluR finding him with the back smack. Lucid and APG providing some damage onto that overshielded player though. StelluR now just has to join the normies of us with just some normal shields. That sniper rifle is going to be popping in 8 seconds. Maybe this is a chance for C9 to get their hands on that weapon.
This is how the rest of us live here with our normal shields. TriPPPeY already 8 and 6. Good numbers from him. On the other side, it's Bound, who's already 9 and 6 as well. Couldn't ask for a closer game number 2. It's 21-22. Make a tie game, actually. There you go. It's even closer. StelluR goes for the shot on TriPPPeY. TriPPPeY wins that from dummies. 1 dead for each side, and still just a 1-kill game.
Found doing his best moonwalk there as the cam went a little bit funny for a few seconds, but he gets dispatched.
Oh boy.
TriPPPeY might have just stuck himself off the wall. We've all been there. That's happened to the best of us. And that has given Optic just a 1-kill lead now. So Lucid just playing slow, and this is what Optic have done so well that we saw on this first map. When they go down numbers, they wait for everyone to get back on the map. They do that damage, but I think the Bound might have found that sniper rifle from those player outlines. If you're Lucid, you get the feeling that he might be in for a haircut pretty soon.
Oh boy, just missed there on those 2 shots. Has a few left, though, to play with. We'll see if he can connect with them. Still tied at 25, and what a fantastic grand final we have here. 1 kill does come in for the side of Optic. It's all to play for on this overshield. Bound's actually going to be the one who goes for it himself, but he loses the snipe and overshield.
Pznguin's going to be there to pick it up, though, for C9. Lucid's going to be flying at him. Lucid's got the repulsor, and here comes the rest of Optic as well. Pznguin, oh, he got the help at just the right second there to stay alive for just long enough to make sure that C9 can get those kills to keep this game tied up. Bound 1v1 top middle. Lucid is there to turn it into a 2v1. As Optic eke out a 1-kill lead.
Oh! Look at bottom mid. StelluR from the basement with the heat wave turns it into a yeet wave from bottom middle. That's something like the reverse Santa Claus. You never want to see something like that coming up the chimney with the heat wave. It's a terrible sight to see. Nice melee win from Bound on Formal, though, at the key door, and the punches keep coming. 34-31 in favor of C9.
A couple of players from Optic just trapped bottom middle here. APG's trying to escape to key door, and that's going to allow Cloud9 to push over the top here. Lucid's inside of the base, but that space that's created might be good enough for them to pick up kills, but no Formal this time. With 2, he's going to completely shut things down. APG, who initially looked like he was in all sorts of bother, has got out, has got the kills, and that's turned into an Optic lead now. Just 1 kill, though, the difference make it 2, as Formal cleans up the kill onto Eco.
This is crazy. Neck and neck all the way to the finish between these two. I mean, just going jab for jab. It's been a fantastic game number 2. If you're just joining us, it's the grand finals. Optic versus Cloud9. Optic is in the winner's bracket. Cloud9 will need to win 2 best-of-5s to win this tournament. We'll see if Bound here can do it once again with Cloud9, but it's going to be an even more difficult road for them this week.
APG gets the pick onto Eco as well. Overshield is the next point of call for both these teams. Heatwave in the hands of Lucid. Bound, dodging, diving, gets his shields chipped away at, but here's Formal. StelluR, that's such a vital double kill to pick up. APG comes in for the cleanup, and with the overshield popping, you can see that Optic have gone into a 4-kill lead. If they get this OS and they pick up these kills, Andy, this could be 2-0 in the series.
Big kill, big angle for APG. Somehow stays alive and continues to challenge as well. Lucid comes in with the flank on the double. They will lose 2, but it should be an Optic overshield grab and a 5-kill lead.
5-kill lead, Heatwave, overshield. And even with Eco just bringing it a little bit closer, you feel like Lucid, with the overshield, has at least got the chance to make a play here. Even if it's not perfect, he's going to do enough damage. But no, there's the green gun. Bound gets taken down, though. There's the push. StelluR has a sniper rifle, though. Lucid down to 1 shot, dodging and diving, and somehow he's alive. TriPPPeY comes in and Lucid survives. I don't know how this man does it. He seems to be just made of different kind of stuff. He's 14-6, and by surviving there, Optic now find themselves just 2 kills away from closing out this game.
He's been called the best player in the game many times. 49 APG will make it, and right now living up to that name. Only 1 more kill to go for Optic.
APG going for the fancy play to close things out. Lucid flying in for the 50th. He will get it. 15-6 for Lucid. Optic 2-0 in the grand finals, and 1 map away from being your champs.
My God, Lucid's on a different level. We've seen him playing like this before, maybe flashbacks to the first few weeks of Halo Infinite and other signs of greatness that we've seen from him throughout the season, but this might be the best we've ever seen him. This man is on something else right now. An unbelievable performance in game number 2 as well. 15-6, he closes it out.
Amazing stats from Lucid. Great. I want to highlight some of the other players, though, that allow Lucid to do what he does at times, right? He takes those slightly longer routes. He'll be flanking quite a lot of the time, and for Formal, APG, and TriPPPeY to be doing enough damage to make him an influence, and also surviving long enough to allow him to complete that flank, the wheels are starting to turn and the gears are starting to look very, very good here for Optic Gaming. 50-44 your final score. And if you look across the board once more, Lucid, yes, he is the standout, but I've got to give a huge amount of credit to his teammates as well for the damage they did.
Lucid 15, 6, and 8. He leads in all 3 categories for his team and maybe the game. Here's the damage as well. I mean, unbelievable stat lines, but as you say, Mark, it's a 6-kill win for them. But if APG doesn't stay alive scoreboard, get the kill on Ovi, also continue to challenge Bound while he's no shield, that paved the way for the Lucid Heatwave flank. An unbelievable performance from Optic once again. Now they're 1 game away.
1 game away as we take a look at some of the highlights of that game number 2. And it was at the start here, a very strong start for Cloud9. They were up by 7-4, but as I say, early game is one thing, but this shot from Lucid, I mean, it's almost like it was almost like the repulsor was just a middle finger. You know what I mean? It was like, get off me, do not challenge me, and learn your lesson.
It really was here. Eco trying to do whatever he could in the back of the base, but the pressure that we saw from Optic Gaming, here's StelluR with some nice kills, as we said, from down low with that heat wave, able to pick up a rare double kill from bottom middle, but APG flying out on the sandbag, gonna tuck in back to key door. Lucid with another double kill. This is the double kill I was talking about that was set up by APG, and even though APG doesn't connect in the end, who else are you gonna send in? It's Lucid to fly in with the heat wave to pick up the final kills.
Really, really impressive stuff from Optic. They have looked on another level today, and it looks like the holiday period is officially over and they are back to the grind. It's going to be Oddball next. We're going over to Recharge. First time we've seen Oddball for quite some time, and I think it's the first time we've seen it on broadcast today, if I'm not mistaken. Recharge, Oddball is where we find ourselves, and this is the game type which both teams very, very well versed in. My question to you, Andy, is do you think that Cloud9 are going to be able to recover now, or do you think that the damage has already been done in this series by Optic?
Can they recover? Absolutely. I think, will they recover? I don't know. I think it's a tall order, and based on the momentum we're seeing, I think Optic closes this series out. Of course, we can't count Cloud9 out, but they're going to have to pull out something special if they want to bounce back in this series.
Well, no messing about. We're straight into this game number 3, and a little bit of a slow start for both teams here. Nobody wanting to give each other the advantage. Lucid going to take that mid-bridge angle. Eco actually is going to get the first one, and now once again, it's the man who loves to flank him once more. He's going to grab himself the camo. Get bonked on the head, though, by StelluR to take him out. 2 dead for Cloud9. Nobody able to get control of that ball quite yet, but StelluR moving through the pipes might have to flank onto Formal.
Yeah, you can kind of tell that once Lucid took damage at control, he was just playing for the burn on the camo. That's exactly what he did, so he's going to be happy with how that one ended, but the ball will be rotated already through long.
StelluR, a really important part of this push coming in as well. He's going to take down Lucid. He's got Formal to deal with. There's the repulsor. Formal had the shock rifle, and you're kind of worried for StelluR there. If I'm in that position, I see a player falling back and fading away with a shock in his hand. More often than not, I find myself in the death screen. It wasn't to be that time. The repulsor certainly, I think, just knocked Formal's shot off.
Especially if that player's name starts with 4 and ends in mole, then I'm even more scared. But really thankful for StelluR that he had the repulsor. Oh! APG and the double on triple as well. He's not done. One more player left. Can he get the over on Lucid? Gonna come around. In the end, he's probably gonna clean this up. It will not be an over, but StelluR putting the team on his back. Big damage and will be points on the board as well.
Well, that was nice, wasn't it? That was a highlight for sure. Production, if you needed a little bit of an indication of some highlights to put for this show, then StelluR is providing it to you now. Do not go away from this man's screen right now. He's got plenty more ammo to play with. And if C9 needed a spark to get back into this, it is StelluR. 7-0 at the moment and not missing.
Oh my God, and gotta think that win on Formal means even more now, and thank God he had that repulsor. Staying alive here as much as he can on C-Plat. Formal sneaks under the tag, though, and it's a 3-man Optic push, very well executed, and the ball will play.
Formal gonna get his shock rifle back as well. Okay, StelluR, you had your fun. Let me have my weapon back now. StelluR. Okay, he survived for now, but the ball is in the hands of Optic. Looks like they're going to try and rotate this one towards the elevator. And as you just saw on your screen, a little bit of a weapon drop to TriPPPeY. He's got the camo, he's got the shock, and he's got all of the toys you need to make some plays.
See what TriPPPeY can do here to stay alive. Perfectly lines up the shot. Knows there's a player on the right bat. Helps out with the second. That will be 3 dead. Eco's the last one alive. 4 dead. Should be ball time for Optic here.
So a bit of a lead off the rip after those StelluR kills. 47-24, but that is going to be closing now as Optic do have that set up in and around elevator.
It's a moment out of the Potions room there as the invisibility cloak runs out. get caught with your pants down in hydro.
You're such a nerd.
Trippy has to stay alive. He's like, oh crap. As that camo runs out, but somehow stays alive at top control. 2 dead for the side of Optic. Make that 3 dead for just a second.
C9 have got that ball in their hands as well. Lucid's going to be flanking. It looks like he's down low on the double stacks, but StelluR cleans them up. So Formal's going to be the closest player alive here to really do any kind of damage. And Pznguin going to be moving away with that oddball as well. Formal trying to push in, trying to do damage. And Formal doing a huge job here, actually. As the first player forward to get a kill and get out with your life, you can't ask more of a player.
Nice little rotate here from him as well. He's going to bring this to C-Plat, wondering where spawners are. He doesn't see long haul spawners, so wisely comes down the ramp, so he's in position to play ball. Looks like he's going to be ready for that. The pressure comes in. Finally, he'll grab a few extra seconds, and the ball will play once again. And good timing, because they still have 2 dead.
Yeah, a lot of grace on that fall as well. 9.5 out of 10 Formal. Look good
Easy.
Going into the water. Not a lot of splash as well. That's what people look for. Oh, jeez. Nobody's missing at the moment with this thing. Seriously, trippy. It's quite the highlight reel at the moment. I think people are going to have to work pretty hard to get into it.
You certainly are. Not easy to get into this list right now. It has been a who's who and an incredible set of clips just to start this game off alone. That was 3 dead. TriPPPeY was the last player alive, but of course he hits a long distance nade on Eco to help even the tides just a bit. And just like that, it will be 2 dead. And he's actually going to grab the ball, rotate to Whirlpool. So quite a play for your last player alive.
Yeah, smart play here from TriPPPeY as well, recognizing where the spawns were, recognizing that Cloud9 had overextended a little bit as well towards that C-Plat. So he's going to be able to just scrap a little bit of time, but with kills going against his team, he's going to have to throw that ball out, maybe look to just slay out for a few seconds. There's one. Pznguin got away with no shields, but big damage being done by TriPPPeY, and those kind of kills, that kind of staggering can help you not only maybe get the ball out and hold a team off on their push, but also allow your teammates just to get back into the map ASAP.
Yeah, almost got the 2nd kill on Danger as well. Still, the 1st kill alone was impressive, but that allows, just like you said, moments like this where Lucid tries to fly in. StelluR, though, with banks the nade off of that pillar, and Whirlpool, that's going to keep things a little less interesting. Bound is the last player alive, trying to play ball. The ball will not roll far enough. Little Happy Gilmore moment. TriPPPeY going to stay alive and rotate the ball once again, and maybe a lead change coming in just a moment.
Yeah, what a round this has been of Oddball. Everybody popping off, everybody taking turns to provide us with moments to remember, but it is going to be Optic who will go into a lead now. 2 minutes 13 on the clock, so a lot of time left. Maybe a little catch here from Eco. No, he's going to challenge the kill instead. Trade comes in from TriPPPeY to get the play ball in the trade there from TriPPPeY. You couldn't ask for more once more. Formal now with a chance to add to the collection of clips we've seen so far. Instead, it's just going to be a little bit of an electric shave this time for StelluR, but nothing too dangerous.
Looks like a scene out of Cirque du Soleil there. C9 synchronized swimming team coming across there with just 3 players gracefully falling and challenging a player in elevator. Really nice. But they will find themselves 2 dead. APG and crew just trying to work, stay alive at C-Stairs if they can to continue pressuring the ball, but we could not ask for a better round number 1. It's 78-74, only a 4-point round in game number 3.
4-point round, and you feel like if they can pick up the kills they need to. Formal just got an overkill.
Oh my god.
That's one way of cleaning house, is just send in Formal. H4F for sure. I mean, the man has just cleaned house, and now he's got a shock. Optic have the ball in their hand, and most importantly, with around 1 minute 30 left on that game clock. Oh, they've got a lead as well.
H4F's in the chat without a doubt. 90 points on the board. 4 dead again. Back-to-back 4 dead. That is the round. My god, Optic, what a way to end this round number 1.
Maybe a +1 here for Formal, just to close things out. Not to be, but Optic with that last second push with the overkill from Formal will take home the first round here. And people at home, and Andy, it's now 1 round away from Optic calling themselves champs.
And not just that, but would be a 3-0 sweep if they close it out, of course, in the game, maybe even in this round, to not really sacrifice any points on the board throughout these grand finals. Optic Gaming looking so strong so far. Formal picking up where he left off as well.
A very, very close round that was just decided, I was going to say by a crazy play, but the whole round was filled with crazy plays, and that was what all of the time came off the back of for both teams. Whether it was StelluR with that triple kill, whether it was the final overkill coming in from Formal, whatever it was, that was how teams got their time on the board. That's how close they are. As Lucid is going to be challenging here on the mid-bridge, but do not challenge Pznguin. He's got camo, but he's also got a pretty damn good BR.
You thought Lucid there as the last player alive was going to take down the camo player. Certainly based on his performance so far this tournament, he was poised to do that. But as you say, Pznguin putting up some great resistance. does what he can to try to bounce back in this series, but this has been a one-way series without a doubt.
Cloud9 with a little bit of all time to start with, though. APG gets the stick. I think actually managed to clean the kill up before the plasma grenade even detonated. So Cloud9 now trying to rotate that ball, get that play. It's Bound who makes the play, but TriPPPeY will be there to clean him up. Pznguin taken down. Great communication again here from Optic Gaming as the little fade away comes in this time from Formal, who, with the way he's playing at the moment, Andy, you can just see the confidence starting to ooze through his veins.
I mean, look at this. You got Formal on 13 kills, Lucid on 15 kills. This is actually the first game of the finals, by the way, where Lucid isn't leading in the kills category. He was moments ago in the last round. Picks up another one on Bound. Tries to connect on Whirlpool. Finally, he'll get taken down, but not before going 19 and 13. Huge numbers from TriPPPeY.
2 points the difference between the two teams at this point as well. APG versus Pznguin. Going to be a trade between the two. Optic find themselves 2 down. Numbers advantage here to Cloud9, but that's going to be Lucid falling as well. So Formal is the last player alive and no shields to speak of. Is going to be falling to his death. Now the rotation with the ball might be coming in towards pipes or maybe towards blue. It looks like a hold for now, though, as they get in aggro. Lucid should be taken down here by Bound, but instead Formal going to find himself as last alive, and Bound is going to run that ball straight towards him. Maybe he's going to have to get that call from a teammate that is not the way to try and rotate this oddball.
Let's see, a nice job there to hit the slide to get away. Maybe a play ball, and Mangler Pit thought about it, but then the nades come in and gets punished. 2 dead for both sides, 3 dead. Lucid, last player alive for Optic. We'll see what his decision is going to be here. Maybe he's going to think about pressuring as well. Instead goes for the control play, which I like. Going to make sure to anchor here for the team and just wait for some help.
Yeah, needs to get some damage done before even thinking about moving across those catwalks. The respawners probably coming into pipes. They can jump up that ledge. They can do all sorts of damage. But Eco, he's starting to use everything that's on the map. You can see remote detonations being used, and Lucid taking all these routes, but just can't find bodies at the moment to do damage to. Bound in a big 1v1, and Pznguin just scarpering away now with that oddball in his hands. That play and this hold from Cloud9 has changed the look of this round.
Certainly now, Pznguin continuing to hold. I think Penguin's also going to play that ball down. Formal's just going to fly right in. Those kills will be traded out, but one thing we have to note once again, there's a big outlier on the side of C9. It's Eco. He's 26 and 18 again. Also big assists coming in from Bound and Pznguin as well. Nothing like that in the assist category on the Optic side. So far, it's been a good second round for Cloud9, but they need to close it out.
And they certainly do. It's a really good point that you raise, actually. The assists certainly stacking up here for Cloud9. Optic nowhere near as close. And you have to wonder, maybe that's a little bit of weaponry they've had in their hands, maybe a sword, you know, just a couple of those things you're not going to get assists off the back of. Seems a little bit strange that they were able to win that round without having stats that kind of match. But Lucid, I mean, Pznguin, you're dead as well, my friend. Just don't even bother. Lucid is having his turn with the shock rifle now, and he's got a grapple to grab the camo as well.
Oh, what the?
Oh, we've all been there. He pressed the wrong buttons.
No, I think that grapple needed to go to the shop. There was something wrong with that grapple right at the end. Just kind of gave up right at the very end, but
with WD-40 on it, be fine.
Yeah, there you go. Another one here for Lucid. Picks up another one. 3 dead. Eco's the only player alive, and he's trapped at elevator. This will be continued time and a potential lead change. Lucid's still alive with plenty of shock, plenty of camo to play with.
Yeah, if I'm alive right now and I'm Eco, I've come off respawn in an elevator, I'm going to be the first person in Halo Infinite history to hope that the elevator goes down for once and just goes under the map. Because no one is missing with this thing at the moment. No one.
My God, Lucid just continuing to put on a show, and as we suspected, a potential lead change here, and if not that, at least a tie game here is 54-53. Now that entire Cloud9 lead has been put away. Oh God! Poor Eco. Receiving end.
I thought you were going to say pour one out for Eco, because that would have been as applicable. 57-54. That's the score right now. Bound. No swimming trunks needed for him right now as he stays on the map. Lucid will fall, but only a slim lead here for Optic Gaming. Even with those huge kills being picked up, and Eco is going to steal that ball away with the grapple.
Not just that, keep in mind, Eco's already on 30s, 30 and 23. Eco has been popping off even in games and series where they've been losing like this. Eco has been putting up unbelievable numbers here. Quite an impressive game from him, but we'll have to see once again if they can close this out. Leading the game once again, though, 64-57.
2-2 on the map. Eco now getting out of the sticky situation he found himself in just a few moments ago. APG and Formal going to be pushing through the pipes, but They're just going to be chasing shadows at the moment as Eco has managed to transfer himself to the other side of Recharge here in the tower. So Cloud9 probably looking at that game clock and thinking, let's think about slaying out right now. Let's not think about that ball too much. Let's look to just keep our reticles traced on these Optic players, pick up the kills where we need to. But the difficulty for them now, if you just saw in the kill feed, is that Formal has a sword. And if Optic can get this ball back to Pipes, then there might be a problem of breaking in.
Might be a ball grab here. There was 2 dead for the side of C9, as you said.
3 dead.
Ball grab does come into gold. Formal still with the sword, and he's got some ideas as well. Gonna realize that the kill comes in elevator, so kind of a weird double back there. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication that comes in, but regardless, the rest of this Optic gaming team, especially Formal and TriPPPeY, right back on par with Lucid here, all in the 20s. Eco somehow, by the way, is still 34 and 24.
Yeah, Eco going a little bit wild here, but Optic going a little bit wild, as in this could be a 3-0 pretty soon if C9 aren't careful. 80 points and rising here for Optic Gaming. This Pipes hold has been solid. This might be the last push that's going to be coming in, and with that kill from APG, it's going to be Cloud9 with 2 players in that death screen. Eco picks up 1. TriPPPeY, though, he's picking up the ball. He's got his thumb in the eye of that skull. And with that, it might as well be a trophy because he can lift it above his head as Optic Gaming will close out the Pro Series number 6 as your champions.
Oh my God, and what a way to do it, folks. The polar opposite from their performance last week. Not only did we see their first win against Cloud9 in a series in HCS play earlier today, we now see a championship win from them and make it a 3-0 sweep as well in the grand finals. Optic Gaming are your champions here in the NA Pro Series.
And no one could doubt that performance. It was dominant. I mean, they didn't look like they were struggling at any point against Cloud9 in either of the series, to be honest with you. The teamwork in that grand final, though, Andy, it was exceptional. And that's what we want to see from Optic, right? That level that they're hitting right now looks like a new level for even Optic. They seem to have found another gear. And if they can play with that consistently, especially when we get to events, which is, you know, where they want to perform themselves the most, then this is a scary looking lineup.
Scary indeed, and equally scary is going to be the stats from this game. And like we said, a lot of players stepping up in big ways in this game. Formal will go 24 and 23, but with 14 assists. Lucid 28 and 24. TriPPPeY as well, 25 and 21, just big numbers across the board.
I mean, some of the shock rifle plays that we saw in that game, Andy, I mean, usually we see one a series, you know, one every couple of series, but in that first round and the second round as well, some of the best plays we've seen with that shock in the hand.
Absolutely. Also, the question's got to be asked now. Is he 8K? Eco just shy of 8K as well. Lucid will break 8K. It's worth mentioning, Eco's got to be wondering, when he's on 35 kills, the rest of the team's on 14, he's got to be asking what's going on. And of course, that's something that C9 is certainly going to look at after a dominating performance last week. And I think a lot of people thought they might repeat. Optic Gaming had something to say about it. As we take a look at your series layout, is something we haven't seen too often. Optic Gaming 3-0 over Cloud9 in a grand final here, with pretty convincing score lines across the board.
Very convincing score lines. Let's be real here. 250 to 110. That is not a close Strongholds Streets game. 50 to 44. A little bit closer, but they clutched up in those final moments. And the Oddball, even though some of the rounds were pretty tight, the final holds from Optic were good enough to give them that gap that they needed to close things out at 3-0. It was extremely impressive, Andy. And I think it's only right that we bring everyone else in right now to have a chat about what we've just seen, because Optic are your champions. And to be honest with you, you can't say that they did not deserve it. It was a phenomenal performance.